And this is Doug Betzold, fashion photographer extraordinaire. What makes Doug so special is that, unlike other fashion photographers, his pictures are in 3D. We caught up with Doug shooting Alexis Monsanto's collection at an exclusive residence in LA. Doug's weapons of mass 3D, two Canon 5D Mark IIs. As the day wound down, I was able to find some time to sit down with Doug and talk about his passion for 3D fashion. I've always wondered, how did you get into 3D? What got you started?
Isn't that funny? Okay, so I started my career in photography as a nature wildlife photographer. As a young adult in my 20s, I was altruistic and wanted to save the planet and that kind of thing, and did a lot of nonprofit work for Windermere and their calendars. And when the recession happened, I decided I'm going back into school and I'm going to learn the rest of everything that I want to know about photography. And when I was getting my bachelor's degree in commercial photography at the Art Institute up in Seattle, one day I walked into my computer store and I found a pair of NVIDIA glasses hooked up to a computer, and I was like, what are those, you guys? And they were like, those are for 3D. And it was pretty much just for video games, things like that.
Right.
And I said, hey, could I bring a camera into the store and try to make a 3D picture, do you think? So I brought a camera in and did what we know as a cha-cha, right? The left, right, move the camera a little bit, put it together in Stereo Photomaker off my flash card, running it, didn't even install it to the computer or anything. And next thing I knew, I had a 3D picture and I knew there was something there. It just pretty much blew me away.
Now, how long ago was that?
2.5 almost.
Now, you were talking about awards. You have a picture that I absolutely love. Is it an F-15 fighter, or what is that? The jet behind it?
Gosh,
It's a
we're
fantastic
on
shot.
NVIDIA. After I started doing work, I was posting it to NVIDIA's website because that's the only way to get it to the people, right? And they caught notice of what I was putting up because of the number of views we were getting and things like that. And they asked me to come out and do, they had a LAN party for Battlefield 3.
Okay.
They had rented out the USS Hornet, which was the aircraft carrier that picked up the Apollo 13 crew out of the ocean.
Yes.
And they had hired a couple models. Basically, it's a LAN party where all the gamers come in and hook with, they had 800 computers hooked up for people to game back and forth on. And they had some models there that we were working with, getting pictures of all the attendees for the conference, you know, and the guys that were coming in to do that stuff. And we couldn't resist the opportunity to go up on deck and take a few shots up on top of the flight deck. I believe the jet is a Hornet.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not the air show guy.
Neither am I, unfortunately.
It's just the opportunity that we had to be on the flight deck, have the kind of location that you just
dream of.
Yes.
It
was fantastic. And I was lucky enough to be able to use that shot and be nominated for 3D Photographer of the Year by Sony and the World Photography Organization this last March. And our work was displayed in the Somerset House in London for 2 months, and it was, you know, easily the biggest thing that had happened to me in my 3D career so far, and it's been a great boon for, you know, getting my name out at least.
Now, what's the difference between shooting in 3D or in 2D? Is it the same thing, or is there something different about still photography in 3D?
I don't really look at it that way. I look at 3D photography as you're creating media that has an added value, because when we take a shot, we're using 2 cameras, we're taking 2 pictures. If you want to take that and use it in a 2D format, just use one of the pictures, right? If you want to see 2D, close one eye.
There you
right?
go. There you go.
So it's really, I really think it's going to take off because of that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have this conception that 3D is only meant for certain places and that media can't travel,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually can travel farther than any media that you make, because it can go 3D, 2D, web, TV, cinema, pre-show, every place that an advertiser would want to. I don't even call my work photography anymore. It's photo media. It's
Interesting.
everything. It's motion capture, it's stills,
Right.
It's a mix of all those things. And it's really a part of what we're having now is this digital revolution, right, of media, a digital media revolution and a micro revolution at the same time, where everything's getting smaller, lighter, more compact. The things you can do with 2 cameras or 1 camera and a laptop now are,
It's pretty amazing.
it's incredible.